Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land show, where we show you how to buy unwanted vacant land and sell it for more on the internet. I'm Steve Butala.
I'm Jill DeWitt.
We are your hosts. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we are the experts in this niche land flipping business.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com. All right, let's get this show started.
That's Jack Butala for Land Academy. Welcome to our Cash Flow from Land show. We show you how to buy property for half and resell it the next day. Great information and instruction from Jack, that's me.
And inspiration from Jill, that's me.
Here's some funny stuff that happened to us recently.
I realized Steven's beach footwear consists of are they Converse and Gucci loafers. We're here for a month. You have two things.
I own two pairs of shoes.
That's it. Gucci loafers. There's no flip flops. There's nothing in between. It's your no sandals. You either have your Converse shoes or your Gucci loafers. And I was looking at that. And you know what's funny? I can tell what kind of mood you're in depending on the shoes you put on.
Really?
Yeah, oh, totally. You are all business today. You're wearing your loafers.
Oh.
You wear your Gucci loafers.
Is that good or bad?
Well, no, I just know it's all good. I just know what I can mentally prepare to what's going on in your world based on the shoes you put on. Nothing else but your shoes.
There's maybe two or three things in life that I'm extravagant about. Not extravagant, but I will pay full retail price for shoes.
Yeah. Good shoes.
So Gucci discontinued this shoes. Here's a funny story.
This is a good story.
Gucci discontinued these shoes, and we found a store like 2 years ago. Jill found a store that still carried them and still had them left over in stock from 2 years ago. So she goes and buys.
It was in a Nordstrom.
She goes and buys multiple pairs of these shoes that are not cheap, and she's like put them in her closet. I only know this because I saw the thing on the credit card bill. And puts them in a closet. And I asked her about it. She's like, "Oh yeah, I plan on 2 years from now when the pair that you're wearing is worn out, you can't take them to the shoemaker anymore. I'm going to give you one of these for
Christmas. Whip out another one. I've got multiple pairs hidden, stacked away, so I know we're okay.
That's love. That is peppermint patty love right there.
Thank you. Thank you. It's exactly what I did.
In this episode, Jill and I talk about nothing phases me anymore. Here's my speech. What's yours? Jill, great show today. Before we start, let's take a question posted by one of our members on successplant.com, our website, and our free online community.
Chaz wrote in and asked, I started thinking about all the letters I just sent out, and everybody can see what I'm flipping them for. May it be better to have a separate sell website? Oh.
Yeah, so what I think Chaz is saying is I have a website. It's xyz.com or whatever, and I'm sending out on the letterhead, sending all these letters to purchase property from people, and then they can log onto my website and see that I'm reselling it for way more. And Chaz, you're darn right. And I did respond to you directly in Success Plant because this is a great question, and I can tell. And the first sentence I said was, I can tell that you're on your way. If you're having these kinds of thoughts and these concerns, you are in this. You've committed, and you're invested in it. And the answer is this: you're dead right. We have a separate buy site and sell site. We always have. Well, not always. Like 2 years into it, I created for the same reason same thought that you're having. I didn't want the people we're buying this property from to see exactly what we're selling it for. So I created not only a separate site, but a separate entity, separate company, the whole thing. And we still use it to this very day, the exact same site. And here's the reason: because all those letters that we sent out over all those years, they still check us on that site and check our credibility and the whole thing. So if you're ready, set up another site and set up another entity.
And it doesn't have to be.
It's a very, very intelligent, well thought out, senior type question. And I don't mean senior old like me. I mean senior, advanced is what I mean.
Senior citizen? No, you're not AARP.
I don't mean a Rain Man type compulsion where you have to buy shoes ahead of your time.
Right. Oh, we won't. Yeah. What's really funny is I wonder how many people caught the underlying theme is he will never wear any other shoe. And oh my gosh, they're discontinued. What are we going to do in 20 years from now?
You beach people have flip flops, and sometimes you don't wear shoes at all. And I just don't roll that way.
Yeah. I hear this is a perfect example. I am sitting here in shorts and bare feet, and Steven has on his Gucci loafers and jeans.
I don't know why.
Perfect
I don't do
example.
it every day. It's not that bad.
No, I know. You're just kind of business-like today. You're in a business-like mode, and I appreciate that. You're in a get stuff done mode today.
Our property sales have rocked this week. I swear we sell more stuff and make more money when we're not in the office.
Yeah.
And it's because of Jill. Jill's had a bell ringing kind of week.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
If you have a question or you want to be on the show, we'd love to have you on the show. Call 800-725-8816. The topic today is nothing phases me anymore. Here's my speech. What's yours? This is the meat of the show. This show is really about taking a good look at all the stuff that you have already figured out in your world, and then taking a look at some other stuff that maybe needs some improvement or some work. Jill wrote a little speech for me several days ago, and it prompted me or inspired me to do this show. What's the speech, Jill?
Okay.
I was upset about something.
You were. This is. I love this too. This is a great topic, and I'm happy
I
to
was
share
complaining about something, I'm sure. I don't even remember what it was.
Yeah.
Might even have been getting a parking ticket. I think that's what it was.
It might have been a parking ticket.
I almost just swore on this show.
Oh my gosh.
Never mind. Anyway,
Yeah,
Jill's response was this.
So, Stephen, you're standing on the balcony. You're waiting for me. I remember this exactly. You're on the balcony waiting for me. We're getting ready to, I had just called a car. We're getting ready to go out to dinner. And I walk out and I just kind of said, hey, last time I checked, the kids are all healthy and happy. You and I are healthy and happy. All our bills are paid. There's money in the bank. We have properties. I mean, we have wonderful friends and people around us. Our whole community and everything. Gosh, everybody's getting it. They're successful too, by the way. I mean, it's
because of us.
Thank you. I mean, everything that we're doing is what we set out to do is really happening. You have nothing. I mean, or not even nothing, but I guess my question is, what is it that's got you so upset? Because last time I checked, we got a pretty good life.
How can you argue with that?
Thank you.
So that's my speech. I would encourage you, listener, to write your own little speech. If you're not capable of doing it, clearly I'm not capable of writing my own speech, find somebody that's sitting next to you. They'll write it for you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good.
And if they can't, maybe they shouldn't be sitting next to you.
Maybe they shouldn't be sitting next to you. So that's a good one. If you turn to your partner and say, hey, help me. I'm struggling here for a minute. Help me. What's all the good stuff we got going on right now? And they should easily go,
and if they say,
oh my gosh,
you're well, it's because you're lazy and ugly.
No.
And then that's not the right thing.
They should be able to say, you look fantastic.
That's
you got
right.
great hair. You lost 10 pounds. I'm so proud of you.
And
Everybody's
I like you
happy.
The teeth are falling out of your head, but I like you anyway.
Oh, that's great. You wear the same shirt 4 days in a row, but I just don't care.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
There's some hair growing out of your ears, and you haven't noticed it in the last 3 months, but
Hey, but you
I like
still
you.
laugh.
I like you anyway. Yeah, you make me laugh.
You make me laugh. It's funny is that I naturally wake up with a version of that mantra in my head every
know you
day,
do.
but I don't think everybody does. I think a lot of people have to sit and kind of consciously think about it. So I know
all
people.
All the stuff I've done in my life, all the stuff and all the people that I've learned from and the whole thing, I've never met anybody like you and learned more from anybody.
Thank you.
I mean it.
Thank you.
And I don't mean technical skill and accounting and real estate and stuff, but you can know all that, and I do. I know a lot of that. But if you don't have a good source of inspiration and somebody to share it with, really, it's just useless. It's just Ted Turner angry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking
That's
on
true.
Ted Turner this week.
You are. It's kind
I
of
like it.
funny.
It's easy.
It made me think about men and women. Sometimes we're different and sometimes we're not. We all need this. And I was just thinking about growing up, and my brother and my dad, they're both the same way. I don't know how many men are like this, but they both had the same habit of sticky notes everywhere with inspiration that they would give each other. They would give themselves. It was very interesting. When I would walk into my dad's desk.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and I walk into my brother's office, the same thing. I'd see sticky notes with inspiration on it. And I thought, I have it in my head all the time. I don't have to think about it. But for them, and they're strong men, I'm like, successful, whatever.
Give us an example, because some of that's really silly.
You think so?
Some of that inspirational stuff. I'm gonna say most of it.
No, it wouldn't be like that kind of a thing. Not like, you got this.
Yeah.
No.
Hang in there, baby, with a picture of a cat.
No, but it might be reminders too of being on the good job and stay on it. I mean, I don't want to share some really personal things, but there were like some personal things that they would write, and it was inspirational to them. My point is, they didn't think about it all the time, and maybe you don't think about it all the time, Steve.
I have you.
Jack. Thank you. I think about it all the time. Their way of making it, it was on sticky notes.
You got to give us an example, Jill. Give us an example of something that is really healthy and not a bunch of malarkey that you write on a sticky note and put it on the mirror or on the desk. Like, here's what would motivate me.
What would be yours? I don't know.
Buy some land, man.
Yeah.
Stop whining about it. Buy more property.
Yeah. One of my dad's was getting ready for his like a high school reunion and looking good, and wanting to look good,
like losing weight or something.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I get that.
Mm-hmm. Some things like that.
Your dad was the model of the patriarch in a family.
Oh goodness, yes.
I mean, he had that like extended family.
Mm-hmm.
Like should be on the cover of a magazine. He's a commercial pilot. He's just, hard as a rock.
Yeah. Really good guy. Got me, what's interesting? We don't really talk about this. It's part of what got me involved in real estate. Watching him, and that was always his side thing,
Yeah.
Multiple rental properties at one time, investing in land in other states, and always really into it. Growing up here in Southern California, watching the developers as it was being developed, and Dad had relationships with them. A lot of it because he was flying them around. He was chartering these guys around, and stuff. And I got to go and, once in a while go on a helicopter ride and stuff like that too. It was fun. Mm-hmm. But so that kind of started some of it for me, seeing these people and how successful they were with real estate.
Wherever your dad is, he's smiling right now. I mean, he's got you and your brother. Your brother's a state treasurer, Arizona state treasurer, and whatever's next for him, I can't imagine. I mean, it's going to be something good. Yes. So if I had ended up with two kids like you, I'd be happy and smiling down on it, the whole thing.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
This is the if-then segment of our show. If you do X, then Y will happen. If you identify what's working and what's not in your life, then don't change the stuff that works. Only take a look at what you want to improve. I make this mistake all the time, Joe. Some stuff's working great, and then I change it.
Why is that?
I don't know. This if-then statement was more for me than anybody else.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking to you I'm kind of wondering, why is that?
I don't know. Maybe I should put it on a sticky note and stick it on my face.
Maybe you should. Yeah, don't change it. Don't change. Maybe that's all that's on your sticky note. Hey, you know what?
Yeah, don't change.
By the way, how cool is that, Stephen? I can actually say this about you. Don't change.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good compliment.
Thanks. I mean, it's true.
We're all fuzzy today.
We are all fuzzy today. But it really is true. So much of everything, and that's us. We really have a lot figured out. There's a little tweaks that we make, but there's no big changes. I don't want to make any big changes, and I don't want you to make any big changes. Mm-hmm. Like, please don't come home blonde or do anything crazy.
Or pregnant. Don't come home pregnant, please.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
They put that on a sticky note.
There we go. Don't get pregnant.
If you're a woman, put that sticky note on your mirror.
There we go. Don't get pregnant.
Janet, don't come home pregnant.
Oh my god. That's Oh,
if you're going to
Jack.
get pregnant anywhere, get pregnant in your own house.
Oh, Jack. What? Oh, my goodness. Never a dull moment.
If you have a question or you want to be on the show, call 800-725-8816.
Or you want to talk about avoiding pregnancy, call that number. Just kidding.
If you're pregnant, call that number. We'll talk.
We'll
have
put you on the
show.
air.
Thanks to you.
There we go.
Julie, you have some inspiration.
Oh, boy. I don't know after all that. My inspirational thought question today is, why do we fall off the wagon?
Oh.
You know?
Oh, my gosh. That's brilliant.
Why do we?
Why do we?
Why do we fall off the wagon sometimes? What is the? I don't even understand.
Like fall off the entrepreneurial land buying, get your side career going wagon.
Right. Any wagon.
All right. So sometimes there's inspiration that's really, really silly, I got to say.
Mm-hmm.
This is not silly.
Thank you.
This isn't silly little inspirational hang in there baby garbage.
No.
This is serious. Why do we start something and not finish it?
Exactly.
All right. So I have a lot to say.
Please.
Maybe you're just not motivated in the first place to do it. There's a bunch of stuff that I would start and not finish. Here's an example. You know, in the distant past, I bought a classic car and put it in the garage as a project, like a half-finished project already, for a lot less than a finished car. And I didn't finish it. I ended up selling it. And I'm not, you know me, I'm not like a hoarder. I don't have a lot of material stuff. That's not my thing. But you know what? I just bit off more than I could chew. I'm a computer guy, you know? Mm-hmm. And but getting parts and after work at 6 or 7 o'clock at night and fixing a car and making it all perfect, that's just not my thing. Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with me. I fell off that wagon. Mm-hmm. I'm not set up to be an auto mechanic, whatever. I'm not into it.
Now,
I just want to drive a cool car at the end.
Do you make decisions differently now that you've gone through that?
Yes, I do.
That's good.
I do. Jill, you should get a psychology PhD. I make decisions very differently because of that experience specifically and some other stuff just like that. Jill, this is brilliant stuff today. Not joking.
Thank you.
This is not fuzzy today. This is a real compliment.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I got a whole line of failures like that if you want to listen.
Give me another one. Well, I'm curious what started you on that path?
I have 45 plus years experience disappointing women. And then in the end, though, I'm not so sure that I didn't disappoint you.
No.
I don't disappoint you. Maybe it was just the women.
It was the wrong women.
Yeah.
So, and it's
I
not
can
that there's
keep going if you want.
It's not like the women were wrong or bad. It's just it wasn't a match for you.
It's not a match. That's right.
Exactly. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Business. Give me a business example.
I held my ground for years on this one subject. We are not going to be a web presence company. We are going to be a land company. We're going to have one channel of sales, eBay. Wrong. It crashed. It imploded in front of my face and almost sunk the ship.
Yep.
So now I'm completely have an open mind about social media, and we're doing this podcast, all of that. Mm-hmm. And that was because don't be stubborn is what I'm saying, I guess.
Right.
I fell off that wagon.
You did. Good.
I got thrown off that wagon.
Okay, so here's the next piece of it. You're different. You recovered. Some people don't recover. Mm-hmm. That's a scary thing. Some people fall off the wagon that can't get back on.
Right. Well, have you fallen off the wagon?
Oh, I'm sure I have. I can't.
You wrote this portion of the show and you just thought you were really interested in hearing.
Yeah, I kind of really want to hear what you.
You were just sure I had a long list of stuff. And you
I
didn't
really
have to
thought
talk
you
at
would.
all.
Exactly. I thought you'd take up the whole section. I don't really have to discuss anything. It's kind of like right. If you go to a therapist, they don't share stories. They just talk about you.
Right.
Just kidding. All right, me falling off the wagon.
I'm trying to think of some stuff.
I know that I do. There's things that I start and I don't finish. And well, I've taken some cooking classes. I mean, it's little, but I really have tried. I've tried and beat my head against the wall to try to be a really good chef. Not gonna happen. I don't have it in me. I am really not serious about it.
Yeah, you know, I can honestly say you enjoy food, and really actually spend some time on it. Not cooking it, but you're a foodie, and I'm not. And you're not. The chef part of that's just not there.
Oh yeah, no.
And that's fine.
Thank
just
you.
like I enjoyed owning the car and driving the cars, but I don't cook them.
Mm-hmm. Taking some classes, thought I could do some stuff. Yeah, no. So
that's part of this. It's like, look, don't beat yourself up if this project stopped and then just say it's a personality trait. Maybe it's the stuff that you're actually working on that's just not for you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know, when I'm done with a 10-hour day of staring at a computer and knocking stuff out and talking to people, you know what I do? Get on a computer and do other stuff, fun stuff.
You just love it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I get out and talk to people. Mm-hmm. You know, I do. That's what I do. I'll talk to people, and then I'll talk to more people. I'll talk to people all day. This is a good one. I'll talk to people all day, and y'all go, oh, I'm tired. And then you and I go out and talk to more people.
Right.
And then it's fun.
Right.
You know, because I really do love it in the end.
Jill, that's a great inspirational piece. What's making you fall off the wagon? It's not a personality trait, probably. It's probably the subject.
Mm-hmm. It's not you. It wasn't right. It's okay.
Yeah. Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how we use information, that's me,
and inspiration, that's me,
to get just about anything you want.
We use it every day to buy property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
Get there first. You constantly surprise me. Constantly.
Thank you. You're good at thinking on your feet. I got to tell you, that was really good. I throw these out to you, and you really have no idea what's coming. And you're really good at coming up with
you
examples.
say stuff like, "Steve, how have you failed or fallen off a wagon?" That's like in the forefront of my mind. I can talk about that for hours.
Well, you know what? That's kind of interesting. I don't think about them. I know I've made mistakes. Oh gosh, everybody does. I'm sure I've made some doozies. Yeah, but I don't choose not to focus on them, so they are not on the forefront for me. Seriously. And you can tease me and say it's the Disneyland in my head. Maybe it is.
No, it's good.
Okay.
I mean, if we were both just like you, I think that we'd be homeless.
Oh, well, there's a good point. That's a very good point. That's a lot why we're good.
And if we were both just like me, we'd be in an insane asylum.
That's right. And we'd be on the computers. I mean, who knows what we'd be? It would be an analytical nightmare.
Yes, it would be
nothing would get done.
Paralysis.
And we would analyze. That's it. Nothing would get done or bought or, I mean, it would, but it would be, it would have been a long time coming. So it's good.
Let's go buy something for half price today and resell it. Jack and Jill, information and inspiration.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.